submersible in the North Atlantic Ocean intensified throughout the day.
And the U.S. Coast Guard says it's still treating the mission as a search and rescue operation, even as the supply of oxygen is likely dwindling for the 5 people aboard. More ships and special equipment are heading to the area this evening. The day began with a surprise: reports of banging noises detected by sonar. The first glimmer of hope in the massive maritime search.
There have been multiple reports of noises, and every one of those noises is being analyzed, tracked, looked for patterns, and reported upon.
A Canadian military plane picked up underwater noises in the North Atlantic on Tuesday, as the hunt for the missing submersible stretches to day 4. At a U.S. Coast Guard briefing in Boston today, officials said more sounds were heard today, and experts are reviewing the data.
They're trying to put all the pieces together. The noises have been described as banging noises, but again, they have to put the whole picture together in context. There are a lot of vessels in the area, and they each make noise, right? So all of that has to be eliminated.
The submersible vanished on Sunday during a deep-sea tour of the Titanic shipwreck, the watery grave of one of the worst ocean disasters in the 20th century. The Titan, roughly the size of a minivan, set off with about 4 days' worth of breathable oxygen. Officials say that is enough to last until tomorrow morning. For the international search and rescue operation, the clock is ticking and the pressure growing. Several countries are bringing in additional surface ships and underwater vessels to aid the effort. Canadian ships have dropped sonar buoys to detect any underwater sounds in the search area, about 400 miles off the southern coast of Newfoundland. And following reports of the noise, French researchers dispatched an unmanned robotic vehicle set to arrive this evening, capable of hooking the sub to a cable that could tow it to the surface. Jules Jaffe is an oceanographer at the Scripps Institution.
Well, the ocean is inherently a noisy place. We have lots of marine mammals making sounds, and there's a lot of instrumentation in the ocean. There are geophysical explorations going on. Sound travels pretty well underwater, and so I give it a low chance of identification that in fact the banging noises that we heard were from the underwater submersible.
As questions remain about how to reach the sub, past allegations and questions about the company that runs the voyage, OceanGate Expeditions, have surfaced. In 2018, a terminated OceanGate employee sued the company, raising concerns about the safety of its submersible technology. That same year, more than 3 dozen industry experts sent a letter with similar concerns to CEO Stockton Rush, warning of potential catastrophic outcomes. Rush insisted at the time OceanGate took adequate safety measures. Rush was piloting this latest trip and is now among the 5 passengers aboard the missing vessel.
Oftentimes, when organizations want to push the technology envelope, they will use materials that are uncommon or take designs that haven't been tested.
Peter Gerges is a professor at Harvard University, where his lab develops ocean instruments and samplers.
I think what we are seeing, though, is more and more information coming out from documents from OceanGate and from others engaged with them that raise the possibility that there may have been oversights as they tried to get this experimental submersible in the water and, on kind of active duty, if you will.
Even as the estimated oxygen deadline looms, Coast Guard officials said they are not giving up.
There are a lot of factors you consider. And then after you consider all of those factors, sometimes you're in a position where you have to make a tough decision. We're not there yet. But if we continue to search, potentially we could be at that point. But again, we're not there yet.
Report, I'm Jerica Duncan. We're coming on the air with significant new information on the urgent and around-the-clock search for that missing submersible vessel in the Atlantic. I want to go straight to the news conference right now so we can get the latest information.
Thank you for joining us today and over the past few days. This afternoon, Rear Admiral John Mauger will be providing an update on the most recent findings from ROV operations in search of the Titan submersible. He will provide a brief statement and provide the opportunity for questions after. Please limit your questions to 1 per outlet. Following the briefing, the Joint Information Center staff and I will be here to help you with any of your further needs. May I now please introduce Rear Admiral John Mauger.
This morning, an ROV, or remote operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families. On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families. I can only imagine what this has been like for them, and I hope that this discovery provides some solace during this difficult time. Additionally, we've been in close contact with the British and French Consuls General to ensure that they are fully apprised and that their concerns are being addressed. The outpouring of support in this highly complex search operation has been robust and immensely appreciated. We are grateful for the rapid mobilization of experts on the undersea search and rescue, and we thank all of the agencies and personnel for their role in the response. We're also incredibly grateful for the full spectrum of international assistance that's been provided. The ROVs will remain on scene and continue to gather information. Again, our most heartfelt condolences go out to the loved ones of the crew.